Stand by.
All right, welcome back to another match review. This one I'm pretty excited about. I've been wanting to shoot this gun for a while. It's the Smith & Wesson CSX. It's new. There's not a lot of good stuff about it out there. I had a friend who had one, so rather than buy one, she let me borrow it, and I got to shoot it this match. So I don't have it here with me today, like I usually do, but in any event, take a look at the stages. I did get a little up close and personal view of it for you, and then I'll come back with some pros and cons at the end.
Here we are, sitting over the top of the CSX. Look at that, is in the bug box. You can't get any more in the bug box than that. Don't think it's gonna, yeah, the width is fine. Other than that, we've just got a few features to talk about here. So we've got slide release on both sides of the gun, safety on both sides of the gun. For some of the pickup stages today, I didn't use this, just because I'm just picking it up off the table. If I drew the gun, I did use it. I don't think I ran it dry today, so I didn't really get to see what that might do for it. Maybe I'll ask Jacqueline if I can borrow it again. The mag release is reversible. I didn't do it. It does have bigger back straps, but I didn't want to screw around with her gun too much. Just kind of left it as it is. To get you a comparison here, this is my carry gun. This is the SIG 365. They're just about the same. I think you might get a little longer grip on the CSX, and maybe a little wider with the other grip panel on it, but with this one you can't really tell. She's got a little smaller hands than I do, so she's just got the back strap on there. But overall it shot fine. Yeah, I'll come back and I'll give you some pros and cons after seeing a few more stages.
All right, guys, those are the stages. Not complicated. Good for ASI, but not too complicated. It didn't go well for me. I shot okay, shot straight, but something about the new sights, I didn't agree with it. But once I got it figured out, I shot it fine. But I felt a little rushed getting through it. I had to get to my daughter's birthday party at the end, so I was lucky to get to shoot at all yesterday. Some of the pros for this thing: it's fully ambidextrous. So I've got a slide release on my side. This is the first, or maybe the second. I think the Kimber, whatever the hell. I don't think Kimber. It's the Kimber not relevant gun. Was also a micro compact that was fully ambidextrous, or had a slide release on my side of the gun, but it was so small. I looked at it at the store and I was like, I don't even want to shoot this thing. So it's like the Shark, or the, I don't know, R7 something or other from Kimber. But anyway, this one has a slide release on my side of the gun that is functional. The safety's a little small, but I'll get into that in the con section. So the aluminum frame, it's got an aluminum frame, aluminum alloy. It's so that it makes the action it's nice. It's like buttery action. It feels real good, shoots very well because of it. But yeah, there's a con to go along with that, and I'll get into that in the con section. I feel like I'm already tipping my hand here about how I feel about this gun. It fit the bug box well, and when I say well, I mean like, so when we're talking about the games, I want the gun to fit in the box as close to, you know, the actual dimensions of the box as I can. There's a hair in my face. And this one is close. So you could get a little bit longer in the barrel, but you can't get any higher than that, than what it is. And that was with the 12-round magazine in the box that you saw that I showed you the picture of. It's accurate. I know that a lot of gun reviewers are like, it's a really accurate gun. But you know, it's accurate as mechanically they're all probably super accurate, but I was as accurate as the gun. I could be as accurate as I'm capable of with this gun, and you know the limitations that are, you know, with a 3-inch barrel, but or 3.1-inch barrel. But yeah, so if I do my part, it will do its part, and it'll work for me. So that's what I'm trying to say. Um, I didn't want to buy a holster for it. It's not my gun, so I brought a 365 leather holster, and it fit in like a glove. The mags fit in the 365 mag pouches really well, almost better than the 365 pouches because they like pushed up a little bit so that I could get to them easier. So that was about the only part of my reloading today or yesterday that went well, is because I had the magazine release. It is reversible, so to be fully ambidextrous with a separate part, but just getting it, my friend didn't have that part, so I was trying to do the you know, index finger or middle finger, you know, mag release, and I hadn't practiced that, so I had to think through every reload, so it was just really slow. The trigger has potential to be really good, but as it's in its current form, it's only okay. It has like this false reset thing that I'll get into in the con section again. But it's a single action trigger. It has the potential to be good, and I think Smith & Wesson kind of missed the mark on that. So it's like 5 pounds. It's a carry gun. I get it. Nobody's making micro compacts because Joe Biden wants to shoot match reviews or competitions with them. So I get it. But yeah, I think it could have been better. Even for a carry gun, I think it could have been better. Last one for pros, to get a whole hand on it. So especially with the 12-round grip in the sleeve, talk about that too. I get a full firing grip on it, so I appreciate that in a gun, especially a little gun like this. Cons for the aluminum frame. It's 1.5 ounces heavier than a 365 with a polymer frame. So I don't know. I don't see it as that big of a benefit. You know, I think that SIG, yeah, Joe's talking about SIGs again, but SIG made in like 2008 or maybe later the SIG 238 that was a HD frame, which is steel, and I don't know why nobody is doing that. I know that for like competition guns, there's the Walther steel frame, and the Canik's now making a steel frame. And I think I've heard rumor that SIG's going to make a steel frame P320, and if they do, that would be awesome because I'd be into that. But yeah, I know that it's a carry gun, and the idea is like we don't want to. I don't want to carry around a big heavy gun. That's why I have this little thing. And okay, I'm sympathetic to that idea, but the shooting experience, if you're going to shoot these guns, is so much better with just a little bit more weight. So you could push that to like, you know, it's 19.5 ounces, push it out to like 26 ounces. And this thing would just, especially coupled with, for competition, you know, my 105 power factor, 107 reloads, and this thing would just be shooting like a dream. But that's more personal for me, so I get it that not everybody's going to want to. The whole market is based around what Joe Biden wants to be able to shoot tiny guns with no recoil. So that's not a thing. The safety is pretty small. Like the safety on the 365 that I carry every day is small. It's unobtrusive, but I can hit it every time. And I was just kind of fumbling with the reset or the safety on this thing. So I didn't like it. On a couple of the stages, I put it down because if there were, you know, pick up the gun from a barrel or a table or whatever. And I didn't use it, and that made it a lot easier. But every time I pulled it out of the holster, I used the safety, and yeah, I just didn't care for it. I feel like it could be bigger. Maybe there will be aftermarket support for it, but I doubt it. Okay, probably the most significant con for me is the ridiculous mag sleeve, because there's just no need for it. I think that Smith & Wesson really missed the mark. This is the biggest spot where they missed the mark, is this should have just been a 12-round gun with an extra bit of grip on it. It would have been relatively the same size as the other micro compacts. I get it that they want to have a 10-round option for California and Communist Washington. We got to come up with a name for Communist Washington. Somebody tell me what we should call Washington now that it's terrible. But I get it that they want that option. They want to have 10-round a 10 round option, but you could just make a longer magazine that only takes 10. I don't know, put a pin in it or something, make it 10 rounds, and that way just put the same length, because the difference between the lengths of the magazines is practically nothing. And then the mag sleeve, like as I was reloading, this is not this is a Sig mag, but it's the same length roughly. That sleeve would just kind of migrate up and down right here, and then as you slam the magazine home, and the sleeve would go into place. But it's just annoying and stupid, and so that's just, I don't know. I didn't think that was very well thought through on the part of Smith and Wesson. Buddy of mine said, "Well, you could just glue it down and epoxy it," and it's like, yeah, you totally could, but also we could just make stuff that isn't stupid. Smith and Wesson, that is. So the person that I borrowed it from, Jacqueline, she told me that she's having trouble finding sights. She wanted like fiber optic sights, or if it were me, I would want a fiber optic front sight and a blacked out rear. I did a quick cursory look of sites, and then there wasn't a lot out there. I think it takes the Shield, MMP Shield sights, but I'm not sure. It should, because that would be stupid if it didn't. But it doesn't. The mag English is my first language. The magazines are not the same magazines as the Shield or the Shield Plus, which is also frustrating and annoying, because I don't know, maybe because of the single action, the fact that this gun is single action, they had to change something. I don't really understand why that would make a difference, but maybe I'm not a gun engineer, so I don't know. I couldn't switch the magazine release for this match, so that made my reload shitty, as I talked about already, but it is possible. So I don't know if that really goes in cons, but it's in there. The false resetting trigger, if you've seen any videos about this already, you know about this. This is a big issue for people, is that there's sort of like a false reset as you're releasing the trigger. It's like, click, but it's not. Then you pull it, it's dead. And then you got to let it out further and pull the trigger, or to, now the trigger's back again or live again. I didn't notice it as much. I think that competition shooters in general, like I don't come all the way off the trigger, but I come off the trigger far enough that it's not a problem for me. I noticed it the first time I shot the gun, and that's like the stage where I picked up the gun and loaded it and shot through the windows of that like house thing. And the first shot, you can tell I'm kind of like, whoa, that was weird. But after that, like, it's just another trigger that I got used to. So, but I really feel like it's a missed opportunity, because it's a single action gun. It could have been a lot better than what it is. Probably another significant con for this thing is that it's not optics ready. I mean, maybe if they aren't thinking about it, I don't know why they wouldn't be. They should come out with an optics ready version. I've heard talk that a performance center version, and that would be optics ready. So there's just no reason. I mean, I'm not an optics shooter, but I'm here telling you, like, there's no reason not to make it optics ready. Why not have the choice? I guess in years past you could say, well, there's just not dots that are that small, but now there's a ton of dots that are that small, so there's just no reason not to do it. It should be, and I think it is now, or it will be. Dots are going to be the way that handguns are. That's how they're sighted. The iron sights are a backup thing, and just like rifles, the dot is the way of the future, and it's the thing now. So, okay, overall thoughts. I'm interested to try this gun that's set up when it's set up a little bit more for me. So, I'd like to shoot it with the magazine release, switch to the other side. It comes with a palm swell, or a larger grip and a smaller grip. And my friend Jacqueline, she's got smaller hands than I do. And I'm not big, but kind of long fingers. She had the smaller back strap on it. I didn't really notice any difference, but I'd like to try it, because the second one, the one that comes with it, has got like a palm swell to it, kind of like the M&P line, or exactly like that. I'd like to give that a try, along with the magazine release switched and the sights that I like. But to do that, I'd have to buy one, and I don't know if I'm going to do that. If I have, I'm constantly buying and selling guns and making things and getting tired of them and selling them. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into one, but I'm not sure. Kind of one of the last things here. I feel like they were kind of going for a 1911-esque feel to this gun, but it's not a 1911 trigger. It's a You know, it's a hinge trigger just like, you know, the other triggers, and I feel like they missed the mark on that. They could have done better with that. So overall, a good gun, but and I don't feel like anybody be undergunned or have an issue if you had one. But it's disappointing in that I think it could have been a lot better than what it is. So good gun, could have been great, but isn't. So yeah, guys, that's all for the CSX. Let me tell you about a couple of matches we got coming up. The Western Washington Regional, Tier 2, which is in April. That one's full, but there may be a wait list going. And the last I heard, everybody on the wait list was going to get in. But, you know, I'm assistant match directing for that, but I'm not running that portion of it, so I can't tell you could get in. But maybe, but if you're interested, hit me up in the comments. If there's something that you think, Joe, you should shoot this gun, or you should try this. This is my carry gun, and I want to see what you think about it. Let me know in the comments, and I'll give it a shot. I know a lot of people with a lot of guns, and you know, if I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that one, maybe just buy it and try it. So let me know that. Yeah, lastly, if you have the time, check out our website, www.dz214.com, where you can donate to the charities that we sponsor. We really appreciate your support with that. Yeah, and if you're interested in more videos like this, check out the match review playlist. Yeah, we'll see you out there on the range.